Bonjour tout le monde et bienvenue sur ma chaîne. C'est du maquillage par Mackenzie et je m'appelle Mackenzie, évidemment. And I Google translated all of that, so if it's wrong, I apologize and you can blame Google. So today on my channel, I'm going to be following one of the latest trends on YouTube for makeup YouTubers, which is to try and follow each other's makeup tutorials. Except I'm going to put my own little twist on it, and I'm going to follow a makeup tutorial in a different language. I chose to do a makeup tutorial in French. I studied French in high school and middle school, but it's been a long time since I've taken a French class. It's been a long time since I've spoken French, and I hardly remember anything. Without any further ado, let's play with some makeup, shall we? So the makeup YouTuber I'm going to be trying to follow a tutorial for is Sananas. And so the one I'm going to do is her spring makeup tutorial with the Too Faced chocolate bar. So let's go ahead and get started with Sananas Too Faced chocolate bar tutorial. She's really pretty. Okay, okay. She jumps right into it. She uses a foundation from Chanel and she uses a brush. I definitely don't have that foundation, so I'm just going to use my Yada BB cream, which is my favorite. These are the foundation, well, these two are concealer brushes. And this is a foundation brush, but it's nothing like the one she uses. Let's try out, because she kind of does a buffing motion. So let me try that with this brush, and then we will see if it works. I just realized she didn't put a primer on. I'm going to go put a primer on. Because I want this to last all day, so I'm going to go put a primer on. I know some of you all might be like, well, if she doesn't put a primer on, you're supposed to be following her tutorial, so don't put a primer on, which I normally would do that, but I'm going to be running errands later today and it's hot outside, and I have oily skin, so if I don't put a primer on, it's all going to come off and it would be bad. Okay, I'm going to start off with a little bit at first, especially since this brush is little. She kind of does like buffing motions, I guess. Alright, so let's go on to the next step here now. Okay, what concealer is she using? Oh, okay. I have that one. Let me go get it. Okay, so she's using the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer, which is my favorite concealer of the moment right now. So let me go back and see how she applied that. Let's see, so she kind of draws a line here and then does a lot of dots kind of going this way. So she takes a different brush and she kind of does it like in patting motions. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna use the same brush because this is technically a concealer brush. Okay, so now she's setting her face with a Bobbi Brown setting powder. I don't have that kind of setting powder, but I'll just use my normal one, I guess. So this is the CoverGirl Advanced Radiance setting powder. So she doesn't put the concealer anywhere else. So she must have really nice skin. Visage, I think, means face. Okay, she's gonna contour. She's using the Hoola bronzer, which I also don't have the Hoola bronzer, and I don't have a brush like that either. So I'm just gonna use my normal one. Okay, so I'm going to take the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer and my Farrah Angled Contour Brush, and I'm going to use that to contour. And you can kind of like, with these kind of brushes, you can kind of squish them down a little bit so I can kind of replicate what she's doing. Okay, so she applies it pretty thick first, and then she takes another brush to blend that out. Try and kind of contour using that. Alright, and then I'm going to take a different bronzing brush. This is the e.l.f. Professional Bronzing Brush. And I'm going to start to kind of blend that a little bit. That's not looking so bad now. It still kind of looks harsh. Okay, so that's not looking so harsh anymore. It's still a little harsher than I normally do my contour. My cheek looks cut. Okay, she's using a different bronzer. It looks like a more shimmery bronzer, although I don't know which one that is. But I'm just going to go ahead and use the same bronzer since I don't have that one. And she's applying that to her forehead. Let's see where else.
Et ensuite pour tout, et je viens cette fois-ci l'appliquer avec un F50 de chez Sigma. Ensuite pour un effet un peu plus naturel et éviter les grosses démarcadeurs.
Okay, so she kind of applies it with a brush, sort of like this one, and then she applies it in kind of that 3 zone, and then she takes a kabuki brush and she blends it even more. Okay, so let's try that. Bronzing up my forehead here. And then we start to blend it down. She's being pretty liberal with it, I think. Now I'm just taking the Wet n Wild Kabuki brush and I'm going to blend everything out a little bit more. She talks pretty fast, and I don't know if that's because, like, a lot of times I find that people in other languages talk really fast, or if she's a fast talker. Do you guys prefer it when people talk fast, or do you prefer when people talk a little bit more slowly? I really like that technique. It looks really natural. It took my bronzer from looking like I had way too much bronzer on to looking very glowy and natural.
Pour ma part, c'est celui de chez ELF qui coûte 3 fois rien et qui est vraiment top, top, top.
Top, top, top. I don't know what she was talking about, but...
On s'attaque aux joues avec le blush Sweethearts de chez Too Faced
Okay.
en teinte Passion.
She uses the Too Faced Sweethearts blush, which I don't have, and she uses an angled brush to apply it.
On revit après du blush. Donc ensuite, le Sweethearts en teinte Peach Peach est censé être un blush, mais je trouve...
Oh, she uses 2 different type of blushes. Okay, so what it looks like she does is that she takes a deeper shimmery blush and applies that to her cheeks with an angled brush. So I'm going to use for that the Berry Amour Baked Powder Blush from Milani. With a blush brush, she applies a lighter, more peachy shade to kind of the tops of her cheekbones, almost as a little bit more of like a highlight. So for that, I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Color Icon Baked Blush from the Flights of Fantasy collection, and this is in the shade Don't Flutter Yourself. I'm just going to go into that Milani blush. Right on my cheeks here. Got that one on, now it's time to do this one. I'm just going to use my normal e.l.f. blush brush for this. Just gonna go right on the tops of the cheekbones there. Okay, so we've got that down. We're nice and glowy from our cheeks now. Alright, let's see what she does next.
Je trouve personnellement. Donc ensuite, on vient s'attaquer aux yeux et je viens appliquer la primer de chez Too Faced.
So she goes ahead and applies an eye primer. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that and I will be right back. Alright, so I applied the NYX Proof It waterproof eyeshadow primer, and she used a Too Faced one, which I don't have, so that's what I used.
Ensuite, je viens prendre ma super palette au chocolat et je viens appliquer la teinte Milk Chocolate.
Milk Chocolate. Oh, that's adorable.
De chocolat, c'est vraiment hyper fun, c'est du Too Faced tout craché.
Okay, so it looks like she uses that as her transition crease shade. So she's using this shade right here, Milk Chocolate. And I've actually used this as a transition shade before as well. It's a bit of a darker transition shade for me, but that's what I'm gonna do because she does it. Alright, so I'm just gonna take a fluffy Morphe brush and dip right into that and start using that as my crease shade here. And she just looks like she does back and forth motions. Looks like she brings it in towards the inner part of the crease as well. Alright, so that's what we have so far. Alright, let's see what she does next.
Après ça, je vais venir redéfinir mes sourcils avec un crayon de chez Too Faced qui est le Instant Attitude, qui est plutôt beige crème. En temps normal, j'utilise celui de chez Sigma qui est très bien également, mais qui est plus dans les tons rosés, donc c'est suivant les humeurs et les envies. Mais celui de chez Too Faced est vraiment tout.
So it it looks like she does that step just to highlight under her brows. And I actually don't have a liner like she does that's lighter than my skin tone. So I'm just going to take this shade, White Chocolate, here. And I'm going to take that on a flat packing brush like this. And I'm just going to wipe that under my eyes like she does. I think it's going to kind of fill that same purpose. Then she takes the shade Semi Sweet, which is right here, and it's slightly darker. Let me see what she does with that.
Donné que cette fois-ci on va prendre un pinceau un petit peu plus précis qui est le E45 de chez Sigma. C'est un espèce de pinceau en pointe qui est vraiment très précis pour le creux de paupière, je l'adore. On ne va pas dépasser le creux de paupière, ça va vraiment être une application beaucoup plus précise qu'avec le E25.
So she kind of looks like she just uses it to deepen up the crease. She takes a slightly smaller fluffy brush, so this one's from Morphe as well. And I'm just going to take some of that and start to deepen up my crease a little bit. And she takes it all the way into her inner corner. So she doesn't just deepen up the outer crease, she deepens up the entire crease. So I'm going to do the same windshield wiper motions.
Cette couleur, je viens prendre le rose de la palette qui est le Strawberry Pink qui est vraiment hyper cute. C'est un rose pâle mais vraiment très joli et lumineux. Il est mat.
Okay, so she takes the shade Strawberry Bonbon right here and she puts it all over the lid. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a flat packing brush to do that. Go all over the lid with it.
Je vais venir intensifier tout ça avec la couleur Chéri Cordial et le pinceau angle de chez Sigma, c'est le E70 si je ne me trompe pas. C'est un pinceau qui est vraiment super pour les angles, les coins externes des yeux. Et on essaie bien sûr de faire la même chose des deux côtés.
Okay, so she takes the shade Cherry Cordial and she uses an angled brush, angled fluffy brush, to add that to the outer V. And then she takes a clean fluffy brush and blends it out. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Alright, so the angled brush I'm going to use is from Luxie. It's the Luxie 207 brush. I believe she says that this shade is very pretty. And she starts off by going at an angle onto the lid a little bit. So kind of like that. And then she goes into the crease, the outer crease here. It certainly looks a little bit more natural on her. It's turning out to be a little bit more smoky on me. Just virtue of the fact that she's got a darker complexion than me. So a lot darker colors are going to look a little bit more natural on her than they would look on me. I'm going to take a clean fluffy brush and start to use circular motions to blend that out. Just like she does. Alright, so that's looking really pretty so far. I really like the way this is turning out. Okay, so she takes the NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk and runs it along her lower lash line. And I'm guessing she's creating a base for another eyeshadow to do on the lower lash line so that it pops a little bit more. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to take another Morphe brush. This is a fluffy pointed one. And she just kind of started to fluff it out. So guess what, guys? My laptop decided to stop recording just randomly, and I didn't know it until just now. I will play what she did for you guys again. So this is where we left off, putting the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil under the waterline, and she blends it out with a brush. And then she takes the shade Candied Violet, which is this shade right here, and she runs it along her lower lash line. And then she takes that same brush and starts to kind of flick it outward along her lower, so it almost creates a little bit of a subtle wing, but it's not like a distinct wing, just flicking it out. Then she takes an angled brush and the shade Triple Fudge, and she lines her lash line with that. I mean, girl after my own heart. Like, I love lining my lash line with powders, so she makes a wing with it and lines her lash line, and that wing lines up perfectly with that flicked out purple from underneath her eye. So now here she takes that fluffy brush and she blends out just the outer portion of the wing, so it creates a softer wing. I don't think that step is necessary, but you can do it. And then she takes marzipan and she highlights the inner corner, which I think is really pretty. This shade is a little bit too dark as a highlight shade for me, but it looks gorgeous on her, and it does look nice in the inner corner on me. And then she went and curled her eyelashes and put on mascara. She used the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, which I don't have, so I went ahead and used the dupe for that, which is the L'Oreal Lash Paradise. And then I went ahead and did my brows off camera because she already did her brows, I think, before this video. So again, I apologize for that. I have no idea what happened and why my laptop randomly stopped recording. So let's go ahead, now that we're recording again, see what she does next.
Décidé d'appliquer le Color Bomb de chez Too Faced en teinte Listing, qui est un nude vraiment très très joli, mais j'avais envie d'une petite touche rosée pêche par-dessus, donc en tapotant, j'applique le rouge à lèvres, la crème de chez Too Faced en teinte bonbon, qui est un rouge à lèvres vraiment hyper joli, surtout pour le printemps et l'été, c'est une merveille. Et pour donner du relief et repulper mes lèvres, j'applique un gloss de chez Smashbox.
Ooh, that was some weird editing right there. So it looks like she puts like almost like tinted lip balms over the over her lips, and then she puts a gloss over the top. So let me see if I have any that kind of look like that. Okay, so the closest I have, I think, is this shade Rose from Burt's Bees. It's a tinted lip balm. And then for the lip gloss, she uses a Smashbox one. And I think the closest shade I have is from the Wet n Wild Flights of Fancy collection. And this is the Color Icon lip gloss in the shade Fly Gal. And then we're going to apply the lip gloss on over the top. Alrighty, so this is the final look that we came up with. So this is a really pretty look. I think that it's more daytime on her than it is on me. I think on me it's very nighttime, but that's simply because she uses darker colors than I would use for daytime, just because we have different skin tones. But I do think that the look is very, very pretty. So if you are interested in Sananas videos or any more of her videos other than this one, I will have her channel linked down below, as well as this video linked down below. I will also have all of the products that she used, as well as all of the products that I used, linked down below as well. I think her video was really cute, and I really like this look that she came up with. And I would encourage you guys to try this challenge as well. There are YouTubers all over the world, and I think it's important that we celebrate everybody, not just people from our own country, but also the YouTubers from other countries. We're all one big world, all united here on YouTube, and I think it's important to celebrate each other. I will also have my GoFundMe campaign listed down below as well for you to check out. And I hope you consider donating to it so I don't have any more technical difficulties like the one I had in this challenge. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at MUBYMackenzie. And if you like this video, please give it a big ol' thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos like it in the future. Alright, so that's all I have for today. Remember, makeup has no rules. They're more like guidelines. So, you do you, boo-boo. Alright, see you next time, everyone. Sananas? 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 I have no idea if I'm doing this right at all. Okay. I do think I applied too much on this side, but oh well. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Oh, okay. Okay, stop. Stop! This palette just smells so good. Ah, just breathe in the chocolatey goodness. What's next? Ciao, ciao. Oh, that's so cute.